Welcome everybody. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at a SOG multi-tool, the SOG POWERLOCK. Been enjoying this tool a little bit here. And it's interesting. After watching a video from Max Level EDC about SOG multi-tools, I've kind of grown to like the POWERLOCK. It is an interesting tool, and I learned this little trick from him of opening up the tool covers the same time that you open up the handles, and it just makes for a better job of going and grabbing what you need, pulling it around, getting it ready, putting it back. It's just that little trick that he learned and showed on his channel has been really helpful. So this is a very interesting multi-tool here. You can one-hand open this, kind of like the free series of the Leatherman, the Arc, and all that. Kind of one-handed. I got a limited space here. I got a wall right here on the back of my desk, so I don't have all the room in the world to just fling that open. But you can fling that open. Very nice. And the more you use it, the more it wears in and just gets smoother. And I'm loving this tool a lot. It has been a fantastic tool to carry. About the only thing I wish that they would do, and I may do this myself down the road, I don't know, I may see if it fits, but I want them to do the bit driver plier head on this tool. I mean, that's just kind of like wasted space to me to have that there, just that empty air, when they could add the bit driver and probably still keep one of the two wire crimpers. You know, I mean, it would be doable. I think that'd be a fun model to have. But I may take the pliers out of this and see if they fit here, and if they do, I'll make a video on it down the road. But that's not going to be anytime too soon. SOG POWERLOCK coming in about $45 on Amazon right now. Like, you really cannot get a better deal than that. At least when I bought it, it was $45. I don't know what it'll be when you go to buy it, but it was cheap for me. And it's reminiscent of like a Leatherman rebar or Leatherman super tool or something like that. I mean, this is a big size tool. For comparison, nope, not that one. This one. We'll take the Byberry Surge clone here. Like, this is a massive multi-tool. Now, I know you got a little bit of that dead space up here at the top, but I mean, that is insanely huge for a multi-tool, in my opinion. Boom. You can see the similarities. Yes, I think the Byberry is stronger and more durable than the POWERLOCK, but as far as multi-tools go, like, the POWERLOCK is incredibly solid. Now, let's get into the tools. The one thing that you kind of have here is some clumping issues. You pull a tool out, another tool comes out, but that's fine. I don't really care about that too much. But we have scissors, a quarter socket driver, a flathead can opener or cap lifter, and then a partially serrated knife on this side. We'll start with the serrated knife. Whatever steel they use, it's kind of a cheap steel. It'd be nice if it was a little better steel, but it holds an edge good enough. They treat it well. It is a perfectly serviceable blade. But most of us here in the multi-tool EDC world, we kind of use multi-tool knives as secondaries anyway. That's not our main knife. Flathead driver. Fantastic little flathead driver. Cap lifter, I'm sure that works. I just don't use a lot of bottles, so I don't really have a chance to say much about that. The socket driver can lock into place in the 90-degree position, like so. That is somewhat handy, but on this tool, not so much. But I don't think it's really intended for this tool as much as some other models out there. It's just kind of a happenstance convenience, so to speak, that it can do that. But it pops out, and it is compatible with the SOG bit kit that you can buy. And if we come in here and we take out the socket, which does take a little convincing. There we go. That goes on, and then after you got that, you can now drive 1/4-inch bits. Fantastic little thing to do. And just being able to do 1/4-inch sockets is wonderful, because there's a lot of times where I'm tinkering on stuff and I use small sockets, and I don't need a full-blown socket set. I just need the socket, because, you know, it's not on so strong that I need 90-degree leverage and all that. You know, that works delightfully well. And as Max Level EDC said, you know, using that little trick there to pop the covers open when you open the tool is just fun to do. Makes it a lot easier. The scissors, I've seen better scissors, but these are really good scissors. These are not bad by any stretch of the imagination. I find it best to kind of hold the tool like this and trigger the scissors like that. It is really, really nice. These are good scissors. Going to the other side of the tool, we have saw, reamer, flathead, Phillips, can opener, small flat, and a file with a flathead driver on it. So, starting with the saw. I think a lot of multi-tools out there are realizing, I don't know if they've always done it on this, but I think people are realizing the spine needs to be narrower than the teeth if you don't want this to jam. And this is done delightfully well. It's a tall saw, but it is well made, well done. It breezes through wood like it's not there. This would probably be a good little camping multi-tool now that I think about it. You know, it is, with the wire crimpers on it, it is kind of made for electricians, so to speak. But, I mean, come on. Like, this would be great around the camp. The reamer awl, I use it as an awl, but it's really more of just a reamer. But, you know, you get creative with your multi-tools. And up next, we have the flathead. This is just a little bit bigger flathead than on the other side. A little bit sturdier. There's minimal blade wiggle up and down with these tools on this model. Very minimal. I mean, almost nothing side to side on these tools, so that's really good. Large flathead. Great for popping paint can lids and whatnot. Fantastic little tool. What I like about SOG is that they designed their Phillips driver to be longer than some of the other implements so that you can get the full 3-dimensional head without sacrificing other tools in the frame. And this is plenty strong enough to do the number 1 Phillips type of screwing. I don't see how there would be a problem with that unless you were being an idiot trying to tighten something too tight. Trying to screw a Phillips head into a steel wall and it's already bottomed out, then you might have some trouble. But assembling shelves from Lowe's or something, this should be just fine, you know? Great little tool. It's refined very well. It is a very, very good Phillips head driver. Wonderful little piece of equipment. Up next we have the can opener and smaller flathead. And you kind of lose out on the flathead a little bit by not being able to reach in as deep because of the can opener. But I mean, you know, come on. Multi-tools are give and take. You lose a little bit on something to gain more on others. It's a great little can opener. I've tried it. Works quite well. And then lastly on this tool, for the small components, we have the file and flathead. Single hatch over here, cross hatch over here, flathead at the tip. Excuse me. It's aggressive enough. I've seen plenty more aggressive files, but I've also seen way worse files. This one is perfectly serviceable on my model. Not much of an edge file. It's just these kind of cross over that edge just a little bit, but it's not like a full edge file. So, I kind of like having the edge file. It's great for like sawing through small bits of wood and stuff, more refined than the big teeth on the saw. The flathead I'm probably going to turn into a chisel because you really shouldn't be putting twisting pressure on a file because the file has to be a certain hardness to be a file, and it's too hard to be a screwdriver. So I might just file that down with another file into some sort of a chisel. So those are the small components. They all lock in with these little lock tabs here on the back. And going to the plier head, you got that full needle nose. Plier here comes to a very fine tip. Can apply lots of pressure. This is a bamboo chopstick here. The plier head can grip quite solidly on a lot of nuts and bolts. And as most people know, I'm sure, with SOG, is that in order to grab anything of size, you're really expanding out. But you're not usually using this as a nut driver as much as something to cut or pinch through something. What I like to do is I like to stick these in and pry things apart. Because, with that compound leverage, you can actually kind of force things apart. And that's kind of been a handy little trick to have. The wire crimper. The big one is just big enough I can't really show it too much on the chopstick here. But on the little one here on the back, like that does some hefty damage. That will do your small wire connectors quite well indeed. So this is a really good multi-tool. I'm not going to acknowledge the ruler on the multi-tool. No one uses the rulers on their multi-tools. Anyways, you can remove the covers if you wish, which that is fine. Tool will still work that way. But I kind of like the covers, actually. After having used it for a few days, I'm actually enjoying having the covers. The covers just make things a lot nicer to me. And no, this model did not come with the bit kit, but you can buy the bit kit separate on SOG's website. You can even still buy some of their implements separate on the website. So if there's something on here that you want to swap out, go to their website and see if it lists that it'll fit on the POWERLOCK, and see if there's something you might want to put in there. Because I might take out the knife and put in like their V cutter that they have if it'll fit, because I don't use the knife all that much on multi-tools. I always got a dedicated pocket knife on hand. Yesterday I was rocking the Victorinox Evoke here, the 2024 limited edition. I've got a dedicated pocket knife. I don't need another knife on the multi-tool necessarily. I don't know. We'll see how that goes there. But the sheath that it comes with is this dinky looking little sheath here, but it works quite well. It's pretty secure. That's very solid, secure plastic on here. But when I've been carrying it in their Molly sheath with the bit kit in the side pouch here. Got to stick my little leather in just right before I shove it down in there. There we go. I've been carrying it like this in this sheath. Works quite well. No problems there. Great little tool to have. So that has been the SOG POWERLOCK. To kind of summarize it up again, I think this is, if you're considering the SOG POWERLOCK, go for it. I think it's a great tool to have. I think it has lots of potential, and you can, if you find parts on their website that can mod it out a little bit more to your standard, that would probably make it even better for you. Like I said, I will somewhere down the road, probably not this month or whatever, but somewhere down the road, I'm going to see if the plier heads are compatible. And if they are, that can jump this tool up to whole new levels. So, thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, subscribe, comment, spread it around, please. Follow me on Instagram, JSPR_EDC, for more behind-the-scenes-y updates of possible potential upcoming videos. I don't post there too often, but it is probably nice to just watch that and follow that. But thank you, anyways, for watching. Hope you found this useful and informational. Hope it helps you build your EDC to your standard. And until the next time, farewell, carry well, and bye-bye.